In this video, we are going to deal with the job costing in QuickBooks. So without wasting any time, let's get started with this video. We are going to learn how you can perform the job costing in QuickBooks. So for example, you are providing different services to the customers and each type of service is considered as a separate job. That means the revenue from that job should be separately recorded and you will be incurring some cost particularly related to that project. So you want to track all of that. And it happens a lot in the service-based companies and also in the charities where the government issue some donations budget as a revenue, and then you will be incurring some cost or you will be spending that budget for different purposes. And then they want the complete report to be submitted for that particular budget where it is spent and complete details about it. So there are multiple purposes with which you can handle the job costing feature. So it can be allocated in many different ways. So with this said, let's see how we can deal with the job costing in QuickBooks. Now to create the jobs, I can go to the customers, and from the customer section, I will firstly create a new customer. And let's say this is a mall and the name of the mall is Packages Mall. All right. So click OK. And let's say for Packages Mall, we are providing different services. We are providing the cleaning services, let's say, because as you know that mall main purpose is renting out shops. So they might be subcontracting all the other activities like cleaning services because there is lots of staff working in the cleaning department. So they just don't want that headache to manage all the employees by themselves. They will agree a contract and pay a certain amount to a company for cleaning services. And then it's their job to manage all of this. So in that purpose, for example, we are that company who are providing the cleaning services to Packages Mall. Packages Mall is our customer and they are paying us, let's say 500,000. And out of this 500,000, we will be incurring some cost on that cleaning services. Obviously, we will manage staff salaries. We will manage the cleaning equipment. And even if it is a tough job or a building which needs some external cleaning of glass windows, obviously we need special equipments, shoes and machinery. So all of this can be managed separately by jobs. So now the customer is entered, right? So to add job, I'll again go to this section, new customer and job, and now I will click on add job. And let's say this is cleaning services. And this cleaning services is provided for Packages Mall. So let's click OK. And you can see that the customer is shown on the top and then all the associated jobs with that customer is created as a subcategory. Now we will take this example further. I've told you that we are receiving some certain amount for that cleaning services job from Packages Mall. So let's create an invoice for that because we need to enter the revenue, right? So I'll go from the home tab to create invoices. And I will write here cleaning services. It will automatically pick this job, which is in the Packages Mall. So it will show something like this. First Packages Mall, then colon sign, and then you will see the job name. And afterwards, we will create a new service item. I'll click on add new. And from here, I will choose service. And here, let's write cleaning services. So cleaning services, whatever category you want to choose, you can choose that. For this example, I'm using on any existing company. That's why it's showing some non-related categories, but whatever is suitable, you can select that. So cleaning services, let's say each is the unit of measure, or because this is service, actually no unit of measure will apply, but still you can select that if you want to apply something. And again, in the description, I can write the cleaning services. And in the revenue, I will again mention cleaning services, press tab, setup, and it should come under income. So save and close. Now let's click on OK, and this is saved. Now you can mention the overall amount, which is, let's say 500,000. And here I can add the description if you want to mention anything further. For example, I want to mention that cleaning services for Packages Mall. And this is for the month of July 24. Now I'll save and close, and this is the simple entering of invoice. Now this is only the revenue recorded directly from the customers. This is just like a normal invoice. Now we will see how can we track the expenses against this job in QuickBooks. So to enter some of the expenses we incurred, I'll go to enter bills. Now let's create a vendor. Let's say a miscellaneous vendor, because there is no fixed vendor for it, but we are incurring some frequent expenses. So press tab and click on quick add. And now let's mention some expenses. And for the expenses, let's say I have purchased some disposable equipments. Now that should not be recorded as an inventory part because that's disposable. I will just simply use the tab of expenses and just expense that out. So let's write disposable equipments. Press tab, set that up, and you have to choose the right category. So let's select expense and click continue and save and close. Now let's suppose the cost incurred on that disposable equipments was 130,000. And let's give any reference number, but this particular cost is allocated to what job? I can choose the job here. That is for cleaning services. Now let's also mention, let's say cleaning materials. Press tab, set that up. In the expenses, I will continue and save and close. And let's say I incurred around 70,000 on this. You can add a memo and then you can allocate the same job here as well. Now for now, let's consider that only this is entered through bills, and next is some salaries that we will give, but we will not enter it through bills. We will use some other area. So for now, this is the bills. Let's save and close. And let's say we have incurred some expenses on the salaries as well. So I'll go to company and click on make journal entries, and let's write here salary expense, set it up as an expense and continue, save and close. Now let's say this is 200,000, and let's write a memo here that this is, let's say, salaries paid to employees for month of July, let's say. And I can allocate the same job name here as well. I'll select the cleaning services, and then let's say this is accrued for the next month. So this would be salary payable. Now, if you don't know about accrual simply means that if the expense is related to any particular month, it should be recorded in that particular month, even though it is paid or not. So for example, you pay the salaries every next of the month. Let's say the July salaries are paid in August by 5th. But if you record that in 5th, it will be part of the next month. But I want it to be part of July. So I will mention the salary expense, but since it is not paid yet, I will credit salary payable as a liability. And the very next month when it is actually paid, I'll reduce that liability and pay the cash. So this is the simple concept. So I'll add it to other current liabilities, and let's click continue and save and close. Now I will again allocate the job here, and let's hit save and close. And now let's explore another area to see that whether we can allocate the job in every single area of QuickBooks or not. So let's say I am incurring some random expenses like refreshment for labor, and I want to use this write checks option because I'm paying it by cash. Let's write cash here, and let's write refreshments here. This refreshment, let's say, is for labor. And for example, this is of just a minor expense, which is of 2,000. You can enter the details here, and you can also allocate the job here as well. Now, any expense which is incurred on cash basis can be entered from write checks. Now you might be asking that why not we use the journal entry simply? And the answer to this is you can easily use journal entry in every particular situation, but you have to see that if it is only the expense which should not be recorded as a quantity, then it's fine, you can record it through journal entry. But if you are incurring some expenses on cash and this is kind of an item or anything which requires you to track the quantity as well, then it's suggested to use the write checks option. Otherwise, whatever you enter can be entered from the journal entry as well, because at the end of the day, everything is entered in debit and credit. Now let's click on save and close, and now we will extract the report. Now I'll extract the report. I'll go to reports, and from the company and financials, I want to extract the profit and loss report, but by job. This is the option that I will use here. Click OK. And since we have multiple customers as well here, But this is, you can see this is jobs. For the package is small, this is the customer. And if you click on this plus sign, you can see all the jobs associated with it. And now you can see that we can track by individual job that for this cleaning services, 500,000 was received as a revenue. And then we have also incurred some of the expenses like this. So we have incurred salary expense of 200,000, 70,000 as cleaning materials, disposable equipments, and refreshments. So for receiving 500,000 revenue, we have incurred 402,000 by ourselves, and 98,000 is our profit. So this is the exact purpose, that if you're incurring, let's say you're working on many projects at a single stretch, and you are incurring the expense, let's say, of salaries of hundreds and thousands. So you cannot track it exactly what cost is incurred or any particular project. It's very difficult to track. That's why this job feature is given in QuickBooks. So guys, this is how you can manage all the expenses and track the reports through job costing. Just practice this by yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.